Look at you squinting over there. I want to ask you one question. Where are your socks? We are looking at the Bitcoin price right now. Juicy crypto news coming your way, friends. Don't worry. We are still making our way through this zone. What's going on? Remember the pump of the dump and the pump of the pump. Oh, where's the dump? Here's the dump. Oh, we're going to keep going up. It's so nerve-wracking, isn't it? You're just waiting to see. We're waiting to see. Are there too many people bullish yet? I guess we'll find out. I have some information to share with you that, look, technically, friends, we're starting to get in a danger zone. You can feel it right now. Now, I don't want to admit this. It hurt me too. I'm like, what do you mean danger zone? We're barely moving, man. Yes, that's how everybody gets trapped over and over again. Like, what do you mean? We're just getting started, baby. Now you can see why the crowd is always wrong. Because the crowd always wants things to just get started. But what you realize is that there's no buyers at the prices you think everything's going, because it starts to get priced in. This is why markets and speculation in the short term gets very hard. But you know what? I'm working extra hard to figure out how can we sidestep the next big crash, because you know every single gain you make is going to count in the long run when it comes to crypto. Because if the 4-year cycle is the only thing everybody's going to go off, well, guess what? There's going to be a nasty surprise for us somewhere. Look what's come out today, friends. Before we quickly go into the prices, look at this. Here I am telling you, man, I'm scared of a crash. All right, we're gonna go through, but don't worry. Look at these signals. The signals, friends. The signals are popping off already. Like, do you want to sit here and not read them? You're like, what signals? All right, look, Bankless. The episode they upload is titled "The Crypto Bear Market is Over." Crypto, Bitcoin and Ethereum. I just can't believe my eyes. Like, he's got some big triangle going up to the moon. Da Vinci, Bitcoin and Ethereum will go higher. Starting to get green. I remember Da Vinci was taking a lot of shorts before the moves started going up, and now it's made everybody just super bullish, okay? So remember, friends, when everything goes up, retailers believe that you should be bullish, because why? They love playing momentum, because they love joining the herd. But as prices go up, you should start to think of, okay, where are we expensive? That's how you win. Buy in the depression, sell in the euphoria. Not buy in the euphoria. That's how you lose. I even had a normie friend ask me about Ethereum. Oh man, that hurt already. I was like, bro, we're not even there yet. Are you serious, man? Wait till like 3,500. Not now. Also, Solana, right? It's been making its top news everywhere because it's been moving. And Galaxy Digital, they're going to be OTC dumping. And guess what? They've already been OTC dumping. They've already sold 500,000 Solana. They're sending it through, friends. They're doing it in the background. But guess what? Everybody's too emotional to worry about them. They don't care about it because like, woohoo, we're going up, baby. Do you see why it's so dangerous? All they got to do is use some tactics to get the markets to start pushing up a bit just so they can exit. We barely got moving. Hopefully there is more room to go. I know, man. I wanted to keep going up. I hope we do. I hope this is like the zone where we start trickling around and then we come and do the full-on euphoria. But you and I both know that the harder euphoria we get, I know you like a hard, family-friendly show. You like subscribe, belly button or, the harder we go, the more pullback we're going to get later on. Look at this. Our friend Nick at Data Dash, he made his first green thumbnail in 550 days, man. Wow. Even it's longer than that, friends. It's like 20 months now. And I'm saying like, man, is it already over? It is. It's like Bitcoin flash rally. Here's what you need to know. Like they're starting to get in, but oh man, it's tough. I think it's important to answer this question as well. So Ian, right? Ian, friend of the channel, of course, a very good friend of the channel. So he mentioned that, hey, my friend Sami, someone came on the stream the other day saying you believe PulseChain will only do 30x from day one from day one sack. Is it true? Okay, well, this is the thing, right? This is where it gets a bit awkward because the crowd consensus is 70x from day one sack now, and here I am to explain. All right, my target is always lower than the crowd. All right, so every day people are messaging me, raise it up. Raise it up. You're too bearish. You're not bullish enough. No. You know who's too bearish? You guys. You're all too bearish. I got nothing to do with it. I am a messenger. I am a vessel. I am just doing the buy low, sell high mentality. I'm looking for value. And if you look for value, you also got to look at the other side. What's expensive? I want to know where expensive is. That's how I figure it out. Remember, if you think something's going to do 100x, friends, Okay, you think something's going to do 100x, you are not buying anything more than like a 40x. When you onboard people, you're not buying anything above a 40x. You're buying everything below, all right? So you can say, oh, I think it does 100x, but guess what? When you go see 70% of all participants want a 100x, well, now you know, all right, where do you guys think it's expensive? At 40x. All of you think it's expensive at 40x. You're not going to be buying there. And when you onboard your family, friends, and everybody else, other community members from other communities, when you're talking to them about targets and everything, you're not going to be telling them that 50x is cheap, or 60, or 70, or 80, or 90, 100. So you never get there. It's how markets work. This is what happened to Bitcoin. It happens in every single cycle for everything, all right? Now, the crowd consensus first said a 500x from day one sack is a requirement for PulseChain. 500x. So because they had 500x, well, you guys, everybody had 500x as expectation. I put my target as 200x for Pulse and 50x for PulseX. And a lot of people got really upset with me for that 50x for PulseX. They said it was actually really offensive not to put a 100x for Richard Hart. That's from day one sack. Okay. You want to know what's funny? The new crowd's expectations is 20x from day one sack for PulseX. So the crowd is lower than what they considered offensive just 5 months ago. That's how much reality is being hitting everyone. So today, right, average expectations is 70x above day one sack for Pulse. So no matter what the crowd is, I'm always going to be minus 66% to minus 50% lower. That's it. Okay. And I want to say, all right, yes, you're free to take the view where we overshoot. So you go, okay, the crowd's going to be wrong. What if we go 2 or 3 times higher than they expect? Yeah, you can think that, all right? That's completely fine. But I'm not going to, all right? Because what does that actually mean, friends? What that means is, let's look at the price while we're at it. Pulse, right? 30% down below sack. Okay, so what I'm telling you is, at some point, we're going to do the 100x up here, okay? Up to here. This is the 100x that everyone expects, okay? Well, what if we're here? What if we're only doing, not the 100x, the 40x or 50x around here, okay? Remember, everyone's target's up there. You are going to have to decide what you do here. Are you going to round trip it? Are you going to trim 5%? Are you going to trim 20%, 50%? What are you going to do? Are you going to do nothing? Because if you do nothing, well, let me tell you something, man. Minus 98% is a long way down. All right, that's a full round trip. That's a 5-year round trip if we get that. Okay, or minus 90%. It'll still be devastating. So that's what I'm telling you. To get to the big targets, it stops at the trap zone first. You don't know that it's a trap zone. You're going to be euphoric. That's what my goal is. My goal is to say, hey, if we get it to the trap zone and I get spooked, maybe Jim Cramer's bullish, maybe there is an Ethereum ETF talk, maybe I don't trust something going on, maybe the stock market's not doing too well. I want the luxury to be able to exit. I don't want to say, oh my gosh, I've got 300 grand in one leg and I wanted it to be $1 million. I don't want to be that dude in the future, so I'm going to hold for the round number. I increase my bag size as much as I can with everyone else, as much as we can. So when we do get to the trap zone, we have the luxury of exiting. So, you know, total Richard Hart ecosystem is 3.5 billion non-origin address today. So if you get that, say, 250x, which blows the market consensus to the upside, you have 875 billion valuation non-origin address. Okay, that means we flip both Bitcoin and Ethereum size today. So, you know, you can bet on this world, friends. Completely fine, man. This is the game, okay? I hope I'm wrong, because I'm not going to get everything out, but I'm going to get a portion out. That's it. You have the corrupt SEC looming. So look at this. If you want to believe in the crowd's wrong to the upside, 875 billion. Well, remember the SEC targeting XRP, 90 billion they peaked at. Cardano peaked at 100 billion. Binance peaked at 100 billion. XRP peaked at 90 billion. For some reason, there seems to be this 100 billion round number that no one is thinking about, but somehow the mind of the market seems to, like, I don't know, time to like stop there. I hope we broke through it. I really do. Don't forget, the crowd is never right. And I'm sure you have already figured this out from the 2021 bull market. The crowd is never right, especially in crypto. That's what the theme of today's video is for you. Look, What comes after? We are so back. Look at this, my friends. We are so back. We are so effing back. We are so back. Look what comes next. It's over. So we know there is a pullback. There are pullbacks. They're part of the game. Of course, we're pumping through, but I'm telling you, man, I know it sucks, man. Just when everyone gets happy, you've got to take the other side. Yeah. How do you think people win in this game? Friends, how do you think all these scum, subhuman, filth influencers were making money in 2021? They were telling you a $100,000 Bitcoin, but they started selling at $25,000. They started selling all their altcoins while telling you, yes, this thing's going to go another 100x, 30x. Every single mainstream influencer you can think of was dumping early. All of them. Every single one. I remember big ones was talking about $30,000 Ethereum. They were dumping $3,000. They're trash, aren't they? Aren't you glad you have someone like me to tell you? This is the Bitcoin price chart. Look at this, friends. We finally make it to the golden box. Do you remember when we were down here? When we were down here, I was saying we got to make it to the golden box of friendship. I kept calling this the golden box of friendship. Look at this. We're in line with it now. Isn't that crazy? But I want to draw a fib here just to tell you 3 out of 3 times, if the cycle repeats, Bitcoin hits the 50 to 60% retracement zone, which would be 42 to 48K before the Bitcoin halving. So between today and April 2024, Bitcoin taps around there. And look, technically, all it's got to do is tap there, and we are not entitled to anything. It can be poopy for 12 months if it wants to, technically. Like, it's done that before. So that's not outside the realm of expectations. So that's why it's cause for concern, right? Maybe you get in the final flush now. I'm telling you. The first green thumbnail from Data Dash in 550 days as it capitulates long, and Bankless declare that the bear market is over. And they're dangling the Ethereum ETF in front of our eyes. See, you don't. These are not good news in terms of time to get in. These are like, oh, okay, time to get worried. This is time to get expensive, right? You're starting to think about it in your mind because they're dangling the ETF, man. The Ethereum ETF. Oh, it's gonna be an Ethereum spot ETF. Isn't that exactly what we want? That's the golden one. If the Ethereum ETF comes, that's like all altcoins go up because Ethereum is like no longer it can be a security at all. It's finally here, right? So you just got to be careful, man. Looking at the PulseX price, PulseX is still around 80% below day one sec. If you put on a linear chart, you get to see like we've got to go a long way. Look, PulseX is still fantastic, friends. If we go to gopulse.com, look at this, okay? It's up to 2.66%. Like every day I'll show it to you. It's 2.66 now. It used to be 2.58, 2.59. It's just ticking up every single day. So the more it gobbles up, the more beneficial it is because it's buying and burning it. I'm just telling you, when there's a steep drop like this fast, you don't usually get, whoa, a super U-turn up. It doesn't do that. I hate to say this, but there's usually like something like that. Like that's usually what it does. I hope it doesn't do this because, man, that'll be a disaster because we're hitting the 2-year mark since the sacrifice soon. And then if it's doing this next year to go 3 years back to break even or something, like that's just, it might be what's required. It might be, right? But just be prepared for anything. I'm still collecting if I can. If I come across any cash I can, I will definitely just keep a mind out for this. Something of this steep drop needs some big money coming, friends. I'm just telling you now, man. There's what people say on Twitter. We're all bulls. But then what I hear in Telegram. Okay, let me tell you something. There are people, they can't wait to sell this at break even. They just want to get out of break even. They're done. They're fully done. So what this means is, it doesn't mean we're done. It means that they are done. So when we go back to the zones, there's going to be people who are like, oh, just 1 out. I've told you I'm out. I'm done. I'm decided to do that. And they cap the rallies. That's why you need to go through them first to continue higher. Combined Hex is also sitting at around, we've got the price here. Combined Hex sitting around 2 cents, 2.2 cents, 2.1 cents. There are people still playing around in the sandpit here. And the E-Hex P-Hex ratio is around 0.54. I don't know how this thing's going to play out, but obviously I just want to remind you again, I am still liking how cheap Pulse and Hex are. Pulse versus Hex is. So look, just remember, everybody on Twitter, everyone on YouTube, they post this chart. This is Hex over Pulse. Now, look, I'm just going to be completely honest. Just completely honest, friends. You're here to listen to the truth. The truth is, looking at this from an outside perspective, it seems like, all right, somebody who may or may not be a duck, wants Hex to always survive and be at the forefront and be at the heartbeat and try to put Hex in everyone's faces. You know, it's Hex to Pulse. It's all these, you know what I mean? It's that type of denomination. And when you chart like this, it's trying to show like, oh, you know, like Hex is going to be really, really bullish. We're just going to keep gaining value against everything else. But I've already showed you the truth. The truth is nobody is bigger than the market. You understand? No one. They can be big themselves, but they're not bigger than the market. And I'm taking the opposite side of everybody else. Contrarian. All right? Deep value. I hunt deep value. And everybody tells me Hex is going to keep gaining value. So they thought that other chart friends, people said it's going to keep going up. They say, yep, Hex is still cheap. It's going to keep going up and up and up. That's what they keep saying. But I'm taking the other side. So I think you're fighting the market to do that. I look around and I see PulseChain and PulseX with cycle 1 advantages. I see Hex with inflation dumping yield, counteracting it. I see it as cycle 2, and I just see it as a finished product. You can't add more to a finished product. You really got to innovate like what Sir Alexander did. So that's why when I'm looking at this chart, you can show me whatever chart you want. I don't believe it. I'm doing my own chart, and I know exactly what I want to look at. And what I see is, this is what I see. I see during times when everybody's scared, they sold off Pulse harder and PulseX. So I'm taking the bet. Me, don't copy me, not financial advice. Go buy bonds, see how that works. I'm taking the bet that when everybody feels good, there's going to be way less sell pressure on Pulse versus Hex as they move up. That's what I'm taking the bet. That's why I'm in this trade myself. And I don't care if it goes down lower. That's why I even have another box here. Okay, I've learned from the EHEX, PHEX. No, I've got to tell you this every single day. If it goes lower and lower and lower, guess what? I become a bigger buyer and buyer and buyer. I don't care. Keep giving it to me. I don't care if it takes another 6 months. It took me 5 months in EHEX, PHEX to get 48 hours of friendship. It might happen again. We'll see. Going to end with ChainLINK as well, friends. ChainLINK, PainLink. Look, technically, this is a poopy zone right now. I don't want to look at this chart because I'm like, man, how are you telling me you're in a poopy zone now? You're still down from the top. You're still down 70%. You know, 70% is fantastic. Wouldn't we love to be only down 70% in Hex, for example? Hex is down 96% combined. So when you're looking at this, you can see some obvious things. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. You can just see this whole place was a resistance zone. All right. Now, I don't like trading off TA for these macro entries. That's for scalping. All right. If I was on the sidelines, this is me, what I will do, just put a 21 EMA. See this dotted line? It's just 21 moving average exponential. Put it on a daily. This is what I will do. And then I would say, you know what? I was meant to buy for the 2 years, like my friend Sami told me to, but I'm now going to have to do the next best thing. I'm just going to have to collect on the next first big major crash, and you're just going to have to track this 21 EMA. But it's not a guarantee. I'm telling you now, this thing can go up. The 21 EMA can go up, right? And then the price, maybe Link could do this, right? And then you think, oh, sweet, I'm finally in. And what it will do is like, poof, like that, right? And it'll just... this part, so you're in at like $13 and you watch it go back to like this. It can even go like this, man. Like it would literally do that. It literally go right. Let's draw it now, just so you're prepared, right? Just so you're prepared. Like it can go up here, but your moving average is here. You'll get long, and you think it's oh well, now we're off to the races, and then yeah, bang. You see that? That's what can happen. So this entry is just to help you calm down and not buy the very, very tip of a green candle. You don't want to do that because you're not going to get out even if it does this, but you're going to feel all this pain and you're going to be waiting longer. So that's what the strategy I would use if I wanted to get in. And this, you could do it on anything, but I mean, you need the strong fundamentals first, because at the end of the day, I mean, I don't want ChainLINK to go back to $8.50 or something, but you got to be prepared, man. If you like something expensive, you better like it cheap. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, all. Love and appreciate every single one of you. Catch you very soon.